Welcome to another episode of Ruff Talk VR, a weekly podcast with in-depth game reviews, exclusive developer interviews, and the latest MetaQuest and virtual reality news. We join our hosts, the father-son team of D. Scruffles and Stratus today, as they spend another episode breaking down and discussing the world of virtual reality.
Hey, welcome to this episode of Ruff Talk VR, coming at you with another edition of VR news, and to start it off, like we've done some past weeks as well, I mean, hey, look, we talk the news, but we're VR gamers. We're playing VR every week, and we've been making some effort to go into some older games as well, too. And we've been having a blast with Mothergunship Forge this past week.
Dude, it still always will be one of my favorite games.
Holds up.
I just wish they would.
Bears to say our first one back after a while. We did lose to the...
But our gun selection was ass through almost the whole thing.
I know.
I'd never seen it that bad.
I was just so cocky. I didn't think that we were going to lose.
No.
Did you?
No, I always play on endless mode, so I'm just
to lose in one run through. Like, get out of here when you're on endless mode and stuff. Yeah,
yeah, dude.
Yeah, but Mothergunship Forge still holds up. I think we got to do a YouTube video on that one soon, just to give it some dedicated love.
Give the devs some motivation to go add more. It's just too good. I want some more weapons.
Well, I saw in the Terrible Posture Games Discord that they're working on a title with the developers of Rogue Pinatas. So that's two studios that have delivered strong to me. Granted, I don't think for anything related to Mothergunship. At least it seems Terrible Posture hasn't, completely left VR.
No, I mean, they haven't publicly said they're not doing anything with Mothergunship, have they?
In their Discord, they had said that they'll make sure it continues to run, but there's not going to be additional content. Yeah,
dude, I just don't get it.
Such a good game.
Yeah, that's the part I don't get. I mean, it's not like there isn't a wealth of weaponry, and again, it still holds up as one of my top 10 all-time favorites.
Imagine a follow-up where there's multiple boss cycles, because you know how there's the same 4 bosses. 3 and then the 4th bonus one.
Oh no, I wouldn't. As long as the gameplay was this.
Oh, you'd even be happy with just one boss cycle again.
But I'll pay for it. Give me a little DLC boss expansion pack.
I would pay for. Ooh, that's actually a good point. I would pay
a 3-bosser.
Yeah, I would pay $8-9.
Yep.
For.
Then if you finish the ultra run,
then there's another bonus one.
Another 3 bosses to go.
How cool would it be too if you had that DLC too? If in the endless mode it combined them, so you would get a mix through of all of the bosses. Such a good game. They have so much potential with that IP. I hope one day they bring it back. The weapon crafting, I go back to it all the time.
Still the only one that's doing it on Quest.
Mm-hmm. And then we also did finally hop into the Radius too. In early access on the Quest. Not as barren as some of the initial reaction would make you feel. There are missions, maybe there's not story dialogue with somebody in front of you talking, but there's quests to do. The gameplay loop is in there. I had fun with you in there.
The what I saw written about it definitely didn't
match my experience. No. You
And
would have thought that there was no quests.
I'd even question. I'm like, dude, didn't we try this on PC VR? And you're like, yeah. And I'm like, I thought we had fun, right? And you're like, yeah, we did. And I'm like, well, did they do this before we played it on Quest? I'm like, well, did they do anything really bad to the Quest version? Because I don't understand what people are saying here. And then we jumped into it, and I'm like, oh, yeah, no, I fucking remember this.
Had an absolutely hilarious moment to start it where I was grabbing at your gun.
Yeah, because you can take parts off your
buddy. Which I like that in games. You can take their whole
backpack
and stuff. So I reach out and I grab your gun and just start not following proper gun safety. Although the safety was on.
You aimed it at me.
I aimed it at you.
Clicked.
Well, I aimed it at you and clicked. And then I looked away and I start, doodle-doo, playing around with the gun in my hand. Now, no longer looking at you. In that time, you reach down to my waist, grab my gun, cock it, blah, 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 put me down.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely hilarious.
I have it on video.
I was like, what the hell, dude?
Listen, all I know is I'm standing there. You reach over, you grab my gun. I had grabbed your health your health thing, and I shook it around and went, haha, and I threw it on the ground. And you reached over and grabbed my gun, which I didn't even know you could do at that time.
You're probably thinking, oh, shit.
I see you pick it up and aim it at me, and I hear, and I'm like, fucker, thank God my safety's on. And then I see you like touch so I assume you had already clicked to undo the safety, and now you're cocking it. So I was like, fuck that, man. I reached over, grabbed your gun, and just blam, 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 blam.
A whole clip into me.
Didn't know you'd die. Didn't know that was carrying over. So yeah, you can kill your buddy. But dude, I had tears in my eyes laughing. It was that funny. Because I honestly thought you were like, what the hell, man? What the fuck? I'm like, dude, you took my gun and aimed it at me, man. Well, you expected me to think you weren't going to shoot me with it? You're like, no, I wasn't going to shoot you. That's some shit, man. Oh, it was hysterical.
Oh, absolutely hysterical.
But I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, there's a lot to unlock, like that armory with all those guns to potentially buy that we don't have access to.
Dude,
there's the weapon cleaning. How about loading the gun where it's bullet by bullet?
Yeah, it's no joke. I mean, bullet by bullet, but you can open up a box of bullets and hold your clip there.
Yeah,
and just click. But you better pay attention to how many are going in, because if you overfill it, it's going to fall on the ground.
Which makes you go, you want multiple clips, you know?
Yeah, it's a good amount of scavenging going on for sure. But
good inventory system, really fun. I had a good time with it.
The written reviews totally almost made me question, like,
how many people actually went into this versus just heard?
Yeah,
it's barren.
Was it a domino effect of one person's opinion, or was it? Yeah, the way it was written was like truly like I expected to go in.
There'd be nothing
to do.
No missions.
No ability to co-op.
No leveling up.
Maybe a room or two in your base. It was like complete opposite. I'm like, visually looks pretty freaking good. Gameplay's been pretty decent.
Yeah. Super good gun mechanics.
I can only go with my own play on it, but no, you know what the hell, man? I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, no, I had a good time with it, and so if you're,
I think they'll do well.
If you're already a fan of Into the Radius 1 and you want to go in there with a buddy, like I think Into the Radius 2 is in a good state to have some fun in.
Yeah, I mean it is early access.
If you're going to play single player, you might still be better starting with 1, which still holds up strong and is fully finished.
Yeah.
But if you're looking for that co-op element of that same gameplay loop, I mean, I didn't have any like, oh my God, I can't play this. It's so buggy. It's like
I had no crashes.
No,
I don't think I had any crashes.
I don't think I really had any bugs. I remember when we played the PC version when it first dropped, we did have a lot of issues with weapons disappearing and stuff like that, but I didn't have any of that on the Quest 3. The Quest version is definitely in a better state
than the PC version was when we originally played
yes,
it. Yeah,
no doubt.
We played it a while ago, though. That was a long time ago.
So, CM Games, man, I mean, if this is where Into the Radius 2 already is in earliest of early access, I'm excited to see it cook.
I wonder how many hours of actual
content there is and stuff.
Unfinished. Because it's already a good amount. I mean, like, there's no way you're going in it and being like, I did everything. Like,
well, no. I mean, it's one of those extraction games where if you like the gameplay loop and you don't need mission-based things, do that forever. You know, go and extract, polish up your guns, clean them because they have gun cleaning.
Yeah,
dude,
it's pretty pretty good.
Yeah, and I feel like we've only scratched the surface. So, I mean, if you've been on the fence of it and you've been like hearing people say that it's just too early access, I didn't personally get that vibe.
No, it's definitely not.
Solo,
I mean, it's early access, but it's not like half complete early access. Not at all.
If you're playing solo and you've never played the series yet, I might, like I said, still say start with 1. But like if I want to play with you in that game. It's so atmospherically terrifying. Like, dude, that game in single player can be a little intense.
It can be. It's not the worst though.
It's like a bad acid trip.
Yeah, but it's not.
It's not like jump scares and like horror vibes. No, it's just like
just weird.
It's very strange.
Very weird.
Floating shit everywhere, and then just like spirits. And
I'd put it as like as scared as Ghost Town. You know, like nothing's really gonna like scare you, but it's gonna freak you out a little.
You just get that feeling in your stomach, like something ain't right about this place.
Yeah, kind of a weird vibe, especially when games do, and I see more and more of them doing it now too. Especially with like that fright thing where you go through a hallway and it loops, and now you're going back through that hallway.
Yeah.
It loops, goes back through that, but something's different. It's like you and your head start fucking with you because you're like, every time I go through this, I know something.
And that effect is even stronger in VR.
Yeah, man. VR and flat screen and horror, just it's like.
Oh, you were just saying this off air too, like you played some scarier games flat screen.
I've been playing Autopsy Simulator
On Xbox?
on Xbox.
I think it is on Steam as well.
Oh yeah, 100%. But I wanted it on Xbox. So I figure, okay, this is, I play like an hour before bed, and I'm like, this will be perfect. What's better than dissecting people with a weird kind of spooky story to go with it? And it's freaking good, but it's not nearly as scary as VR. If this was in VR, it's like there's some shit I've done so far that'd be like, yeah, man, that scared the shit out of me.
We saw this at PAX, not this past PAX, the PAX before that.
Yeah.
And instantly we're like, oh, this would work great
We
in
demoed
VR.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we demoed it. The guy was adamant, like, oh, you got to try it. And we're like, we do VR games. We don't want to hog your computer. And he was like, no, I really want you to try it.
Finished product, would you say it still holds, feels like would work in VR?
A fucking 1,000,000%. The biggest problem with it is getting the graphics to run in VR because it's running some pretty good. It's got some nudity too, but I'm sure that you could just leave the nudity button not available.
They let you turn it off, you said.
But I mean, you're doing an autopsy, so
anything with the name simulator.
They also have, if you don't want to do the story and you're just about doing autopsies,
You just want to cut people up.
yeah, you can do that. They bring in burn victims and shit, but I freaking love it. But it would crush it in VR. Almost everything I've been playing lately on flat screen has a direct carryover to.
It's hard to not look at things with that lens of being like, how would this work in VR? You go,
It would
I
work
want this in VR
If
today.
it would work. And you realize looking back on a lot of games, it's like, wow, these were built to work in VR. They just know was VR. Now it exists.
It's very hard for me to see a first-person game flat screen and not instantly go, well, I mean, you're halfway there. You're first person. You got the hands right there. I mean, we're there.
Any first person game work in VR.
Yeah.
Some flat screen games would never work in VR. It would suck, but that's a very few minority compared to the majority of. Dude, I'm stoked for 1.6.
Oh,
Team
Counter-Strike 1.6 from Team Beef?
Team Beef.
Yeah,
baby.
we talked about that last week. I want to know how, dude, when are people going to be able to play? I want to get in there.
Yeah.
That looks, they're going to crush it. If their past games or their past mods are any indication, this is going to be insane.
I don't think they're big into failure.
I've yet to have a bad
You know what
Team
I'm
Beef
saying?
port. No, they're always exceptional. Some of the best lightsaber mechanics you'll ever feel in VR are in their Jedi Knight port.
They're just a little next level.
Yeah,
So
they're
it's like I
exceptional.
trust them wholeheartedly. But yeah, I agree. Like, what do we got to do to play it? What do we got to talk to? Mr. Beef himself.
Yeah. Who is the beef?
The beef. The head bull.
I'll talk to the bull. Yeah, I'll talk to the cow, please.
The cow. Who's got the horns?
Dude, I the day we get to go in there, I almost want to have your reaction filmed, just to see if you have a smile on your face that you don't even know you're doing.
Well, I went into my Steam account and reinstalled 1.6.
Yeah, gotta get,
I
brush
need
the
it
dust
installed,
off.
right?
Yeah, I need to brush the dust off a little.
I almost played too. But I'm like, if I'm gonna play, I'm like, I need my settings back. I like to do keybinds.
Dude, but the first time you get to go in some of those iconic maps, like you always talk about Dust and stuff like that.
Dust 2 will be awesome.
That first time you get to go in there and it's full 360, 6 degrees of freedom VR.
And it's a server. It's really like server based. So like, are they gonna have? Is it gonna run off of what servers? So,
Probably some cloud. There's a lot of services these days.
Well, yeah. So I mean, is it gonna be crossover?
Oh, like VR players play with flat?
Yeah.
That would be insane. That would be so fun. I don't know. That'd be, dude. We got to get Team Beef on for this one. This one is.
I'm actually upset we haven't already.
How have we not had Team Beef on?
I don't know.
My goodness.
They're busy,
Yeah, they're beefing it up,
fucking doing their shit, dude.
keeping things
They have
beefy.
time to talk to us. No, I'm kidding. I'm pretty confident we could grab someone to come on. But I think that's
I
worth
agree.
doing. I got a lot of questions.
I
want to
agree.
play it.
Counter-Strike 1.6 coming to VR from Team Beef.
do,
That's going to be huge.
We'll do Ruff Talk VR versus Team Beef. And
I'll need to practice
1.6.
with you. You got a huge edge on me. I used to play a little bit when I was a little kid. Run some maps against bots and stuff.
Dude, I
like
haven't
that.
played in like really hardcore in years. I mean, years and years and years. So it's like, muscle is memory, but it would come back.
Mm-hmm.
But ultra competitive.
Dude, I'm excited.
Ultra competitive. Like the type of dude who will tell everyone what to buy on the first round. Like, don't do this, do that, I treat every game almost like it's a true, I don't know. Breachers beware, man. That shit come out.
I'm surprised Meta, well, probably Valve is in the way too because it's a Valve title, but imagine that on the official store.
What a great relationship.
Not needing to do it as a mod or anything.
Yeah.
Because if it runs good, why not? But anyway.
My only fear, I guess, is, and I mean, Valve's like anti-cheat shit is pretty intense.
I don't think it says, like, these days it's...
You can use mods in 1.6 for sure.
I just mean, like...
But if it's going to run through Steam, is it going to detect...
These days, the Steam default anti-cheat, I don't think is the cutting edge.
Like, let me tell you, dude.
I know back in the day, I get it.
No, it doesn't matter. Valve still runs a good anti-cheat for... I'm only
not saying it's not good.
I'm only speaking for Counter-Strike.
I'm not saying it's not good either. I'm just saying, like, I don't think it's the... There was a time it was the cutting edge, like the best of the business.
Didn't even have to be. It just had to work for the game you were playing. I don't know how their other games go. People still cheat in Counter-Strike, but there's a lot of anti-cheat servers and there's also cheat servers. So you can have a server set it up for all the cheats in the world, but you can also run a server that...
Yeah, we'll just have to get them on. We got a lot
of questions. I've never been Valve banned, and I don't want to because I want to play through VR. I just don't know how it works. Like, what is it? Does it even care? Are they dedicated servers? Public? What are we doing? Yeah, let's get them on. I got a lot of questions.
So, in the week of news, this was a big one. This one came right at the end of the week at the Summer Games Fest.
2 weeks in a row of some pretty big IPs.
There's a couple other throughout this week
that
come into
Turtle.
it. But we got an announcement of Deadpool VR coming exclusively to the MetaQuest 3 and 3S. And interestingly enough, Deadpool is kind of iconically voiced by Ryan Reynolds. This is going to be voiced by not a bad name here either. Not like they picked somebody else who's a wicked small name. They got Neil Patrick Harris as the voice of Deadpool in it. I think he did a good job in it in the trailer. But this is going to be made by Twisted Pixel Games, who we talk about quite a bit because we've been wondering what they've been up to for years now. We loved Path of the Warrior, and it's been a radio silence from them.
No, why?
Dude, because they're working on Dead, and it looks pretty polished. Like, doesn't look like that this is a proof of concept. This looks like it's not far out. So I'm excited. Interestingly enough, too, this is usually Camouflage seems to get the Marvel titles, is what I would have assumed, but they're spreading them out through their other studios now. Twisted Pixel Studios is owned by Meta.
You can't have them making too many games at the same time, and they're making Wolverine. So
that's a
rumor.
That's us lying. That's us
self-imposed rumor.
That's us being silly.
Listen to the interview, you'll see why.
It was us being silly. I still want Hulk, but they say that Deadpool VR is coming later this year,
which shows you exactly why they've been radio silent. They literally have been burning on this for probably 2-3 years.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we know how long
I'll tell you
to make
what,
a game.
VR is one of the very few industries, if you want to keep a secret, you still can.
I'm surprised this didn't get out. It did get out last week. There was rumors of it.
But doesn't matter. It's coming out this year.
But the fact that it was in works for years without this coming out.
We are halfway through the year. Mm-hmm. So it's not a big leak.
And how about the major titles Meta's pushing for the Quest 3 and its lifespan? We've got an Asgard's Wrath 2. We've got an Batman, and now we're getting Deadpool VR. They're dropping some heavy hitters in the Quest 3 lifespan. I don't think we got these type of exclusive titles in the Quest 2 span.
Iron Man.
Well, Iron Man was originally a PSVR2 exclusive game.
But it did come.
They had to buy the whole studio.
But but
They
fuck it.
come.
It worked out in the long run.
But that wasn't like a Quest 2 exclusive one. I mean, I don't think that they invested in the Quest 2 with like exclusive titles like they have in the Quest 3's lifespan.
Probably wasn't worth it to buy the title.
I think they're still trying to get those Quest 2 users
Shit's
over
not
too.
free, you know.
I wonder how many people, what percentage of Quest owners are still on a Quest 2?
I don't know, man.
The 3
US
is so
market?
much. The 3 is so much better, but I feel like it's still probably a good percentage just based off the amount of games that come out for the Quest 2 as well too.
Still games coming out. Yeah.
Yeah, like the majority. Like it's 7 out of 10 games.
But I mean, I
like.
get it. You want to sell your game, so that shows you the percentage is large enough. If studios are going to opt to like, hey, no, man, it can run on the 2. I'm putting it on the 2. I'm not going to go out of my way to put it on the 2.
And I did have a little criticism of the graphics of this, that it's cell shaded.
Yeah.
And then you shut me down off air. You're like, yeah, but if there's any game that could do that, it's a comic book.
It'd be a comic book.
I went, huh.
Kind of wrote the book on that.
Huh. I said, you made a good point there, sir. I didn't really have a retort to that. So
I
yeah,
hope
no, you're right. The graphics do actually fit.
Hope the gameplay is smooth, which, you know, trailer didn't.
Looked high action.
Well, yeah, it's got to be for the character. And the sarcasm has to be legit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want, like...
Kid humor, which Deadpool's not known for. Deadpool's supposed to be like more adult.
I think it's going to be Deadpool humor, but it's like, just, I'm hoping there's no loop. You know, like, oh no, he's saying this again. Oh shit, he's saying this again. You know, but I have faith in the studio, dude. It's like, I'm not going to nitpick shit until it's in my hand.
It's like a sports game when you've heard all the commentator lines and it keeps
it's like, I got faith.
You know you're going to do this move. You're going to hear that line from the commentator. Yeah. I hope that there's a wide variety or like it's specific to the moment.
It's stretched to the gameplay of
Like
you know, the mode.
Yes. In this level at this time and he'll say this.
Not
yeah.
Like, oh shit, every time I
Like,
do this,
shut
he's
the
going to
fuck
say.
up, Neil. Yeah. I'm curious to see how Neil Patrick Harris does throughout the whole game.
He's going to crush
of
it. Dude, he's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Dude's legit as it comes, man. I'm sorry. Like,
yeah.
He's funny. The dude's multi-talented as far as like he's not one-dimensional actor. He can really goof on himself, which
kind of perfect for this role.
fucking Harold and Kumar.
Mm-hmm.
Dude,
that was a good movie.
He spoofed on himself, man, all coked out and shit, and it's like the dude's a funny dude.
Yeah. I think he's a good fit for it.
With a good track record of career. I was pretty stoked.
And they're definitely putting marketing money in this. Ryan Reynolds put out a big video with him like talking shit to Neil Patrick Harris. But how much do you think that costs to get?
Their marketing budget's going to exceed any amount of game sales.
This is going to be a big one. I mean, and it doesn't look like that Batman pre-set combat. It looked pretty free flow in how you could hit. Obviously, I need to play and experience it myself. But
yeah, Batman could look a certain way too.
Correct. Correct.
Because what I saw and what I played was different worlds.
I feel like it's a little bit more free flow with the combat, but there's going to be parkour in it as well too. So I'm excited. Later this year, this is going to be a mouthful. Meta-owned Twisted Pixel Studios comes Marvel's Deadpool VR. There's a lot of hands in the pocket here.
Horizon Deadpool. If they could, they would, man.
Yeah, but coming exclusively to the Quest 3 and 3S. You think this is going to be a bigger headset seller than Batman?
No.
Yeah, Batman's a big one.
Unless they bundle it with some new headset coming. Because that's where Batman really came with the 3S, dude.
You think
3S sales like were phenomenal during the holidays.
You think that they'll do the same where like now any users buying a 3 for this period, it'll come with Deadpool once it's out?
I would hope so. But I'm not.
Because it started with Asgard's Wrath,
They're
then they
still
switched
doing
it to
Batman.
Then they switched it to, but they did switch it to
Because
Batman.
here's the problem. Every box they have in storage right now says fucking Batman on it. So,
yeah, but they did that with Asgard's Wrath too as well. They switched it from that to Batman for like a year.
Let's see. I think this one they're gonna.
I'm guessing
flat out you're paying for it.
I'm guessing it'll be that $59.99, that $60 title.
This is not going to be a $24.99.
It looks fun though. I'm excited. This was a really big drop this past week. I'm excited.
Dude, like I said, 2 weeks in a row, there's been some fucking monstrous IPs coming out. And that's good because these are good faith moves when you see the owners of these willing to like, all right. I mean, it's not an easy process to get this shit approved and greenlit. This thing was greenlit years ago, dude. That's crazy.
I'm like heavy marketing dollars. That's probably
It is now.
when you start to see those type of commercials and stuff like that.
If they could have shadow dropped this and it would have crushed it.
I mean, how much do you think it costs to get Neil Patrick Harris to voice act a whole game like this? Just that aspect.
Honestly,
Plus the
if I had
licensing
to guess, like under 20 grand.
Depends if he's a VR fan, right? If he's a big VR fan, this might be easier.
It's his rate. I mean, I don't think he's gonna go, I love VR, I'll cut a deal. Just like fucking I Expect You to Die. Who the hell was it? The dude from Star Trek. I can't remember his name now.
Yep. It'll come to me. I know it.
I don't think he threw them a bone. I was like, yeah, I love science and I love VR.
What, you mean Marvel comes to your door asking you to do a job and you go, I'll do it cheap?
Yeah, no. You're,
Marvel meta?
I mean, they have agents. I mean, they had to have gone through an agent too.
I was just being more silly.
But I would think 20 grand for him.
I would think more, but I don't know anything about that stuff.
Plus the extras of that's the in studio, then plus the
my impression would be a lot more, but I don't know anything.
Marketing.
I don't know anything.
Then the marketing part is separate from the voice acting. That's two different worlds. Like, the media tour.
But there's heavy dollars being put in this.
Fuck yeah,
At that point.
I would think so.
Oh my goodness. I'm excited to play it though. Seems like Upload VR went hands on with it. So
if you were like on a poor budget, but you really wanted to get good voice actors, you could probably do Cameo and just do it in little blocks. Like I can afford 3 minutes a month, 3 minutes a month. Holy shit, dude. That'd be genius to do. Put together a clip of, obviously you tell them like, yeah, this is going to be used for this particular, but I can't afford.
All right, here's 2 lines today. I got 300.
Yeah, here you go. But it's somebody really freaking famous saying it, Dude, that's genius. Anywho, someone's going to do that. This is awesome news because, well, it's not really news. We called it before it even.
I was pretty proud
before
to see
the
this
wheels
too.
went down. It was
saying
no
it for
doubt,
years.
Though. It was a no brainer.
Said it since this was first announced.
This is just an example of you build it and they will come. But Ghost of Tabor in the U.S. market is number 1 on PS VR2 games. In the European market, they would be ranked number 2. And then for giggles, I was looking at what is the top 10 of the U.S. versus the top 10 in Europe. And it does vary, like
Significantly.
the first and second Ghost of Tabor, Alien Rogue, they just swap. So Alien Rogue becomes number 1 in Europe and Ghost of Tabor becomes number 2. Jurassic World is number 3 in Europe, which was weird, man. Followed by Creed, which isn't even on our top 10 but the taste buds in Europe are different. And
Although Jurassic World's number 4 in the U.S.
Yeah, but Beat Saber number 3 in the U.S.
Oh no!
Oh, Creed is
right
number
there.
5. Yeah,
It's a lot of the same titles.
Swordsman's on both. Yeah,
just
Among
switched in
Us.
order.
Star Wars on ours, not in Europe.
Wow.
Metro Awakening on both, and Pavlov on ours, but not in Europe.
No, not surprised to me that Metro Awakening's bigger in the EU. I think that's like a huge title in more of that like Eastern Europe area.
But kudos to Combat Waffle and team. We had faith. You're just gonna show up, turn it on. People are gonna be like, "Fuck yeah!" About damn time. But they deserve that, man.
We've been saying it since it was announced for good reason. Like PSVR2 just needs these type of titles.
Yeah,
It's another player base into the game. Like that's great for the daily active
they
players.
just haven't had it. Now they have it.
Dude, what a good feeling. New platform, boom, number 1.
We kept joking. It's probably gonna be the best looking version too.
Yep. I think we even joked the best performing because Sony's so tough with their QA and stuff like that. Dude, it's probably gonna be so annoying pushing patches and updates to it now.
It's all right. It's out there.
Yeah, it's in there. They can play it.
I can't wait. Dude, I can't wait to get a PS5. I'm actually excited. Love my Xbox. It just doesn't do the VR.
And, dude, we've had a lot of game announcements the past week because we had a couple last week, including our Counter-Strike VR version 1.6 that we're so hyped about.
Mic drop.
But Thief VR, Legacy of Shadow, it is a revive of the Thief IP, which admittingly, I never really played the Thief series. But I mean, Thief came out in 1998. Dude, that's almost a 20-year-old series. I mean, that's over a 20-year-old series. That's almost a 30-year-old series.
Mm-hmm.
That's impressive. And it's been dead for a while.
Still available to play, though.
Yeah. By dead, I mean there hasn't been new games in a while. But I mean, for fans of the IP, it's cool to see it get a revival in VR. It'll be coming later this year, quote unquote, later this year. And it is coming from, developed by Maze Theory and Vertigo Games. Maze Theory did Infinite Inside, also Peaky Blinders. And then Vertigo Games, I'm not even going to begin to list their game roster with games like Metro.
No,
and then
too many.
Yeah. And then Arizona Sunshine. Very unexpected duo. I got to be honest. I wasn't expecting to see Maze Theory and Vertigo Games partner up for a game. It's cool. I'm not mad at it. It's just out of left field.
Both are
very good.
both are good at what
studios.
they do, but Maze can bring some mechanics to a game that other studios might not be able to.
Mm-hmm.
They've got
Especially in
some
the
shit
puzzle
figured out.
elements.
Yeah.
Whereas
They got some-
Vertigo Games really excels in combat and stuff like that.
They're also good with IP grabbing.
Well, so is Maze Theory. I mean, they've got
That's what I was
Peaky
saying.
Blinders.
Maze Theory was
Yeah.
who I was talking about. Yeah.
And Vertigo Games have had Metro before. I mean, this is like a power duo coming together that I didn't see coming, but like as we're talking through it, makes sense. Like I think that they're going to do a lot of damage with this.
If this is just the start of multiple projects, yeah, there could be some pretty crazy shit. But no, I'm excited.
Coming later this year to PSVR2, Steam, and MetaQuest.
Thank God.
And PC Gamer out here, as they were going on a tirade, they did 2 different dedicated articles. I would not recommend to go read them because they don't deserve the website clicks for them.
Good thing you mentioned them by name.
Well, now I know which ones. I'm telling you which ones not to go click on. Do not go to PC Gamer.
That's fake news.
They don't deserve the clicks for their clickbait. But yeah, they were like freaking out, having some serious stress issues.
They had a coloring book moment.
Show us on the VR headset where the VR hurt you. You know, it's like they were salty. I think what happened is they put out one hate article. It got a bunch of clicks, and then they went, "Shit, do another."
Yeah, it was bad. That was a bad look.
Just distasteful. They even did it again when
That's the shit that makes journalists look like shit.
Mm-hmm. They did it with Deadpool too. They did like a quick snippet of like Deadpool VR. Let's be real, no one cares. Move on. Next. It's like, what is your guys' issue?
Your podium is awfully big.
Mm-hmm. Who hurt you? Who hurt you? How about the disrespect to the developers and the IP holders that before the game has even been played to shit on it just because of the platform it's on?
These are the same cucks that'll fucking wind up a storm if they don't fucking get something from a studio too, I bet.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just that. I agree with you. They don't deserve the clicks.
Yep. In fact, they lost all credibility with me in that moment.
Listen,
Boom.
the pen is a pretty serious thing, right? It's like you're documenting shit and you're only as good as the shit and the way you do it. Some people, they have career off of like bad shit.
Mm-hmm.
But that was in a league of its own bad shit.
I see an article
That was,
from
like,
Andy
very-
Chalk. I know not to click on it.
That was
Doesn't matter if it's PC Gamer or another publication. I know that's a bad journalist.
that dude, 1,000,000%.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because that was the title, dude. That was the headline for it. That wasn't like, oh, buried beneath it, this is my opinion of the current state of VR or VR in general. It's like, no, man, you opened your fucking shit. That was the header for, that dude can suck a sack, bro.
Mm-hmm. Like I said,
No,
I
it's
see
just bad journalism.
I see anything from PC Gamer. I know it doesn't have credibility.
Well,
and
and you know what's
specifically,
fucked
I
up?
see that journalist, Andy Chalk. I know no credibility to
Here's
him.
the worst part on me.
Terrible journalist.
I did not click on either one.
Good.
Because, because I'm like,
They don't deserve. You did the
I
right
don't-
thing.
well, yeah. Well, dude, I feel like it was clickbait. I didn't know,
Mm-hmm. Then to do a follow up.
I don't know what the basis inside the article really brought to the table.
Oh,
Maybe
just
there was something.
no. It was just that VR is a terrible platform, and like you're just gonna get nauseous and have a bad time and get hot and tired, and like this is just stupid.
Who is this guy?
Apparently a journalist.
Well,
So they
that's
could
dude.
say.
Let's be honest.
A scrub
anybody-
is what we'll call it.
Anybody with a keyboard is a journalist.
Mm-hmm.
Just depends on how you're getting your shit out there.
Dude, I can feel myself getting a little worked up. You guys about to get some East Coast hate.
Yeah, no, I'm already
verbal
like,
hate. Yeah, I'm so tight. Dude, I can see it coming.
I'm saying something I'm going to regret.
Dude, I can see it coming.
Yeah,
We're getting
I'm
worked up.
thinking of events in here. Like, got any? No, it's just, it's weak.
Look, it's disrespectful to the developers.
I love a good
disrespectful.
I love a good opposing argument to things. I love playing devil's advocate
Correct.
to things I even believe, but
There's valid criticism.
I just don't know what was to gain from that other than the outcome of you looking like a fucking schmo protecting your fucking And here's the worst part. I am a flat screen fucking lover.
You just talked about playing Autopsy
As
Sim.
long as there's
playing an
flat
hour
screen,
of Xbox game every night.
I will fucking continue to. Our Discord members are costing me fucking $30 a week in Discord posting shit, and I'm buying it on Steam. I bought that Ore game, way bigger than I ever thought it would be. You could make a career playing that one game, but I fucking bought it, love it, gonna keep playing it. So I'm a huge.
It's not like your VR is this, flat screen's nothing. No, love both.
Both can exist harmonically with zero and benefit each other. There's VR games that have come out that would be great in flat screen, and there's flat screen games that for the next 100 years could feed the ecosystem of VR easily without even having to think of like, I wish I could make a game. You don't have to. Do you know how to get it to go to work in VR? You don't even have to be artistic or creative. You just have to know how to port something. That's a fucking ego and a half on that young lady.
A young man?
Oh, sorry.
It was a young man. I think he was an older man too. His name's Andy Chalk.
I thought it was a young lady.
Bunch of chalk dust coming out that mouth.
I apologize.
Bunch of chalk dust coming out those fingers.
Miss Andy.
Dude, yeah. To me, it's like I'm open to any discussion. If you go, oh, VR's not for me because of this, and you outline things, like it's a discussion. My problem is the disrespect. The disrespect to the developers.
You want to dissect it?
I don't want to give.
I haven't read it.
I don't want to give them the click.
Oh, it won't be a click. You don't have to. No, because I honestly didn't click on it.
No,
you did though.
Yeah, the first one.
You getting crypto ads now?
I Yeah, just terrible. Like you said, though,
we don't have to give. I agree with you.
You lose all credibility about your publication. You lose all credibility.
Dude, I don't mind if that's in the article. I don't. That wouldn't hurt. I would like a very.
It's disrespectful.
Yeah.
To the developers, to the industry,
to the fucking consumer,
to the consumer. Yes.
The feelings of the developer. Most of them have some pretty thick skin, or they're just immune to it because they're not even paying attention because they're in the fucking matrix. But the consumer, who is the person who really reads the shit. A lot of people really do enjoy VR, man.
Yeah.
For whatever your experience.
Not every game makes millions and millions, but like games do well. It's an industry. There's consumers who love it.
He is the first one on the Connect invite list, I'm sure, too. That's what's crazy. It's like, why shut yourself out of something because you're an a-hole about it?
Because you're just a hater. Well, honestly,
I would rather be invited to everything.
Dude, it could be as simple as he wanted a free Quest 3 and didn't get one. And that's why he's going on I'm not saying that's it, but like it feels rooted in a personal vendetta.
That dude's hurt because he can't make it fucking 2 minutes in Gorilla Tag without getting fucking mollywomped by an 8-year-old.
I can't either.
Wicked upset. Yeah, no, hats off. I can't get past that and do it. The fucking these huge walls you allegedly can run up.
All those games need boomer movement for me, man.
Boomer movement.
I
don't even think it's
timer. Too funny.
Kids are just next level.
But yeah, that was an interesting one.
That was funny.
But I am excited for Thief VR, Legacy of Shadow, coming from Maze Theory and Vertigo Games later this year.
I was 28 years old when that game came out.
Dude.
What blows my mind, though, still available today.
And we're seeing some big titles lining up for this year, man. I think
it's on Quest.
Look at what's coming this year.
Sorry, Quest on Xbox.
What we talked about last week. Also, then, just so far in this episode, we have Thief VR and Deadpool coming later this year.
And like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
And Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I think that's next year, right? I need to double check. I know that was just last week, but there's so much. Anywhoots. This next one. You're such a Lady Gaga fan. I was excited for you when I saw this.
Yeah, no, it's already out in the wild. and reasonably priced, I might add, because it's just a single song at $1.99. But you can scoop up Lady Gaga's Abracadabra on Beat Saber. It's short and sweet, baby. Nothing more to say about that. I mean, obviously, if you like Lady Gaga and you haven't, you can certainly indulge and buy the full collection that's out there. But continuing to add to it. She's got to be great to work with, bro, because she's pound for pound probably the most famous, not famous, but probably the most wealthiest right now at the moment artist on Beat Saber. And they got the fucking Rolling Stones, but Lady Gaga's got...
She's modern.
She's the it, you know? I saw her in concert, man, at Mohegan Sun, and I'm not going to lie. I went into it like not a fan. I'm there because taking Tracy to see Lady Gaga. And
she won you over.
Dude, for life. This lady, I had a side view, so I had backstage view and stage view. And she'd like finish off a song and would rip through the backstage and like throw clothes on the ground, throw on a new outfit while holding mic, and come out, backup band starts, boom, hitting her song on cue. She's doing her shit. And she sang. She did not lip sync. Dude, pop singers don't fucking sing. She sings. And she plays guitar. And she plays piano. And she dances.
I've heard you be a fan since that day.
But anyways, yeah, no. She won a fucking 1,000,000%. I'm like, this lady is a performer. I might not always like every song she does. For the most part, I do. But I might not like every song she does. But she's a legit entertainer. But anyways, Abracadabra, $1.99.
So fairly priced.
That's what I'm saying. Like, she's got to be good to work with. Because Metallica...
Look at that.
Only fucking $6 a song, G. $1.99 is a steal. That's like a little less than what you will. It's a little more than what you would pay on iTunes.
Isn't like iTunes
like
known
$1.29?
Or they're known for their 99 cents across or something. Or that used to be the case.
They still do. They still do. You can, but you're searching for it. You know, all the 99 centers, and it's not always guaranteed. Like the today's greatest hit is it. Usually it's $1.29 or some crap.
Okay.
But yes, my love of Beat Saber.
And you always say Beat Saber sound quality. It's like the best you're ever going to hear that song sound.
Yeah, they could redo any song and you're going to be like, damn.
That nice spatial audio is always nice. So for the PC VR folks, I'm so excited because I have been such a fan of this on the Quest, as I know you have. A lot of people have. It's a real contender for Game of the Year. Ghost Town, currently available just on the Quest. They put out a PC VR demo because they have an upcoming PC VR launch. And if you are excited for it and you need just a little taste, there's now a demo available on Steam.
Hold out, though.
You're saying hold out?
Yeah, I don't fucking touch. No disrespect to the studio. They worked hard on it. There's people who love demos. There's people who only play demos, I'm sure. Like, I'm never buying it. But I would hold out personally. It's that good.
Dude, it's one of the best of the year. It's coming this year to PC VR as well, too. It's not like next year.
Every game I'm playing this year, I'm holding it next to
Ghost Town. Yeah.
And so far, nothing is dethroning it out of my head.
They've done such a good job.
Nothing has come out of the gate. And just because Deadpool might come out doesn't mean Deadpool's going to necessarily be the best game ever. So,
well, Ghost Town was such a good utilization of VR in the puzzle mechanics.
It was polished to the gills.
Good voice acting, good story.
So good. I'm sad that I'm done with it. Like, I'm sad. There's a few things I could go back and do.
You could do some episodic DLC series.
But it's not.
Do some like prequels. Go back in time.
I don't know, man.
Yeah. They got a good foundation.
I would just wish there was a way you could have stretched this out longer than oh my God, this game is great. I'm not going to stop till I'm done. Oh shit, I'm done.
You know that sinking feeling when you beat a game that you love? You're like, fuck, I just want to keep going. So, huge props. So, Fireproof Games, they'll have Ghost Town on Steam and PSVR2 later this year. But in the meantime, much to the surprise of you, they do have a demo available on Steam.
Do.
You just
stay away.
Imagine tasting it and just not finishing it, just eating one potato chip.
Well, no matter what, it's going to ruin a portion of your play. Right? If you play 10, 15 minutes of it, that's 10, 15 minutes of it you're probably going to have to redo.
Unless they made a dedicated
make believe story
demo.
just for
like
the
they
demo.
did like a little. I don't know what I haven't played the demo.
I'm not gonna.
Unless maybe it's like a side thing that's not really in the game. It's just to give you a taste with some simple, quick puzzles. I don't know.
I'm anti this one. They've got such a good. They don't need to do a demo.
I'm surprised that we didn't see the Steam launch come out like boom right after. But they say coming later this year to Steam and PSVR 2.
I think their focus was get Quest out, make sure it runs good, and tighten up on. I'm sure the Steam version does run, just might not run to the standard that.
And they're probably doing the Dungeons of Eternity thing where they're like, want it to be as visually, like really take advantage of it. But anything from Fireproof Games at this point, I'm sold on.
So formerly known as Quest Plus, I think it was Quest Plus. Am I not? Or am I having a Mandela effect? Formerly known as Quest Plus, now known as Horizon Plus.
For now. Talk to you in 6 months.
I think they're married to this Horizon shit pretty deep, dude. I even joked like next headset, it's going to be called like Horizon 1. But this month's
the Meta Horizon.
This month's games from Horizon Plus, $8 a month membership, which is actually pretty affordable, $60 a year if you want to take that method. You get Warplane Specific, great freaking game, and Border Bots. You play a kind of cartoony, arcadey border agent stamping people's approvals to come in, which was one that I thought we were going to play once, and then we never did.
No, we never did.
I don't know why. I think this was an example of self-buryment.
Mm-hmm. Well, we have Quest Plus.
I was going to say now,
Plus.
Doesn't help me with Warplanes.
Well, Warplanes is a great game. What's good about that for them is like you play one of them. There's There's like 2 others on the store now. So
that's a studio that just you want to learn how to market something. Do what they do. Just put shit out. They don't say shit, do they?
No, I think
fucking boom.
They got like the worst marketing.
Yep, none.
And then they don't do anything like
they crush it. They crush it.
Well, they crushed it with Warplanes. Shogun's Empire.
I feel like never different. That's out of their genre. Of
but
what people
they just dropped it. Never even did like a post about
there
it.
There you go. Made this over the weekend. They're good though, dude. Their game's legit. The airplanes are fucking fun to fly. Mm-hmm. My only beef with these games is that all the airplane games currently are like old, World War II type aircrafty stuff. So I have no complaint, and it's a deal, dude. And the list of I was going to read the list, and I was like, it's too damn big.
Yeah, but
I'll just say you're getting a fistful of really top notch freaking games.
Asgard's Wrath 2, Walkabout, Demeo, Cookout. There's some freaking bangers on the consistent library of the Quest Plus. So good stuff. Well, we've hit that point in the show. I think it's appropriate to give a little love to our Patreon peeps. So huge props, huge thank you to our Patreon supporters on our on-air Patreon tier. And
what's Patreon?
Patreon, it's a way to support the podcast, help us keep our lights on.
Been listening to you say it for 4 years. I don't know what the hell it is.
Yeah, well, I mean, hey, we've heard it. Somebody will say it. I hear every week saying to check out the Discord, and now I am. Sometimes it takes week after week of hearing about it.
Join Discord.
Join the Patreon.
Discord.
Start saying Patreon like quietly through the episode.
Discord.
Patreon. But huge thank you to our Patreon supporters on our on-air shout-out tier. We have Asim, Amelia, Carson, Aspire Mike, Jake, Crispy, Shoes, and Tom. Thank you all for your continued support week after week. And as I always say, you can join that list of esteemed supporters by visiting the link in our show notes, our episode description, where you will also find the link for our Discord server. Woo! A great community of fellow Ruff Talk VR listeners and just VR fans. Got obviously a whole bunch of VR discussion, like you said, with them dropping you flat screen games.
Ugh.
You got flat screen discussion as well too.
Crushing it.
We got
that was like a $30 game, bro.
Discussion about everything: food, game meetups, what's going on in life. It's just a great non-toxic community. So go
and
check
it's safe, man. Amelia keeps that place safe.
Mm-hmm. It's well guarded.
The mod team is good.
So check out our Patreon. Check out our Discord. Show us some love. Rate us 5 stars. Smash the like button on YouTube.
Who would be our oldest surviving Discord member?
It would have to be. I mean, I know
Amelia or Shoes?
Shoes and Amelia were part of the Reddit. Remember, we used to only be Reddit, and we didn't even have a Discord. Then we made a Discord.
Noobs.
So anyone that was, it would have to be from the
Noobs.
Reddit era.
Reddit group.
Yeah, and so I definitely know Amelia and Shoes were part of that Reddit crew. What a time.
Damn,
Man,
dude.
the rust of social media, as you once famously said. I even saw that PC Gamer news article about Thief VR shared on a non-VR subreddit, on the PC gaming subreddit. So not VR specific users.
Mm-hmm. And
that article got torn to shreds where people are like, dude, leave it alone. Who cares? It's VR.
Yeah.
Like, they're doing their thing.
Reddit's going through a weird change, I feel like.
Well, look,
It's still, I mean, don't get
still
it twisted.
toxic.
Well, I tell people, if you want the truth like that, like I'm going to look in your fucking eyes
How do the consumers feel about
and
your
tell
game?
tell you the truth. Put it on Reddit. I mean, you got to weed through the ones that are blatantly going to just call you a dick. But
Look, when the PC gaming
gonna get
subreddit
deathly
defending VR just as passionately as the VR crew was, I thought that was a good sign of things. You know, that was cool.
not too shabby.
So in a week of game releases, we also did get the first gameplay footage of the upcoming Demeo and Dungeons and Dragons crossover called Demeo and Dungeons and Dragons Battlemarked. I'm just going to call it Battlemarked.
It's called crossover.
Yeah, the DnD Battlemarked. Whatever, Demeo Battlemarked. We'll come up with a more catchy flow. But if I say Battlemarked, that's what I mean. Talking about this D&D Demeo crossover. And we got our first official gameplay look at it. And it looks very Demeo-ish with some, I won't say ish. It looks very Demeo with some setting differences. I'm excited to actually get in there and play it. The reality is it could be 100% the same as Demeo, and it's still going to be a great time for me. Demeo is one of my favorite VR games.
Mm-hmm.
Throwback, say it all the time.
Hold up forever, dude.
Yeah, first ever episode we did was Demeo for good reason. We fell in absolute love with it.
And it wasn't originally going to be.
Population 1 was going to be.
One, yeah. That was in our veins, but
then something happened.
Demeo dropped, and that shit was special.
And it's still, like, I've yet to see a board game style game capture the feel of immersion and excitement that Demeo has.
The level of detail.
Mm-hmm. The made in Sweden.
When it came out, it was fucking mind-boggling. It's like they put so much effort into the art for those pieces, and putting those little details, like saying made in Sweden on the bottom of them, and then expanding from there and giving you rooms to go in and fuck around and paint your own pieces.
So I imagine this one will have that same type of post-launch support. Just knowing Resolution Games, they seem to always.
Did their player versus player one?
I don't know. I didn't stay tuned to it. I don't think a lot of people did, to be honest with you. Unfortunately, it didn't.
I don't feel like that one
caught on the way
gripped.
it should have. And while I originally understood the efforts to make it as a different title, perhaps it would have done stronger as a purchasable game mode. In Demeo as like a DLC pack attached to the same game.
Well, it's still purchasable.
Yeah.
As a game.
I just understand why they made it as different apps too, because there's fundamental differences.
Yeah, they were
in
separating the gameplay. It's different, totally different gameplay.
Otherwise, you're making changes to the game to fit the PvP, but now the single player is not as balanced. I get why they did it, but I agree it didn't feel like it gripped on the way.
I think it showed that given the choice, people would rather play co-op and work together against a common thing than play co-op to work against killing people.
I agree with that.
Or other players. They don't want that. They want that, like Demeo is set up.
Clear a dungeon.
Yeah, man.
And whereas Demeo was clearing dungeons, this is going to be D&D style campaign adventures. The length of that, remains to be seen. A Demeo round was pretty long.
Could be.
But they say this is going to have dramatic cutscenes, quote unquote, richer dialogue, and deeper player choices in the adventure. And they hired a gentleman named Matt Cernett as their narrative lead, who previously worked on Icewind Dale, Baldur's Gate 1 and 2, classic games, love them, as well as a Dungeons & Dragons tabletop game. So they're bringing in some heavy hitters, and the game's going to feature 2 campaigns at launch with further DLC campaigns planned after, with different D&D settings. This one's in the setting of Neverwinter. The other ones are going to venture into other areas of the D&D realms. So
Nope. Now it's just get it into the wild so we can see. I mean,
Yeah.
I've been anxious since they announced it. It feels like forever.
it's expected to launch late 2025.
Yep.
It's going to be coming to PC VR.
Late 2025 is in like 3 months.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be coming to PC VR, PlayStation VR2, Quest, flat screen PC, and PlayStation 5. And they say while the game is optimized for the Quest 3.
No Xbox.
No, I know. And they say it's optimized for the Quest 3. It still will run on a Quest 2 and Pro. But it's optimized for the 3, which makes me think that there's going to be graphical enhancements on the 3
visuals.
and stuff like that. That's how I interpret that
I'm
statement.
thinking 100% graphical.
Like you're
That's the
probably going
only
to get a
thing the
scaled
Quest
down,
2 yeah.
toned down visual experience on the 2. Probably no mixed reality or anything like that. Whereas maybe this will. I remember Demeo had mixed reality. Although the trailer looked like it was a full environment versus a tabletop.
I don't know, man.
Are the pieces going to be made in Sweden?
Of course.
I hope so.
They better be.
You're going to be bummed if you look at the bottom and it doesn't say it's made in Sweden?
I will call out what I'll say is a shortcut.
And then I wonder, are you playing in somebody's basement again? Because that would
But
kind
are
of
you
make sense.
playing pieces or are we playing pieces this time or are we playing real characters?
Just represented as pieces. I get what you're
are
saying.
they-
Because
yeah.
Demeo was a board game. You're playing in
Yeah.
somebody's basement. It was clearly a game. I get what you're saying.
Are they bringing Dungeons and Dragons to life and
Yes.
therefore they're not pieces? Or
Yes.
are they doing,
Even though they technically look like
or are
pieces.
they Dungeons
Yeah.
and Dragons pieces
I get
that
exactly
they
what
will
you're
bring
saying.
to life?
Let's see. Ooh.
Other than that, yes, I'm going to flip the piece and see if it says
Mm-hmm.
made in Sweden. And I wholeheartedly expect to see that level of detail.
And stay tuned as Resolution Games is going to be doing some developer diaries, a series of developer diaries coming soon, leading up to launch.
They're badass, dude.
So I'm excited for this.
Resolution's definitely one of the AAAs of,
Mm-hmm.
of VR.
This is an IP spinoff of Demeo, and it's like it kind of lays a foundation. Maybe this isn't the last time we see this. You ready to get annoyed at me?
What?
Imagine this with Star Wars.
What?
This type of IP, Demeo crossover with Lord of the Rings. You know, travel through Mordor, dude. I think that this type of IP of mixing Demeo,
The new Star
gameplay-
Wars sandbox they have out would be the best thing to bring over to VR. Just go for the fucking gusto. Swing for the fences.
I just mean related to Demeo. I just mean I think I like the idea of doing Demeo with IPs. I think there's a lot of potential with it. But yeah, that would be huge to bring over a major title like that too.
I mean, I see where you're coming from. I'd agree with it, but if I were them personally, I wouldn't touch that. They got theirs. They own it. It's like, fucking, you should come to us for ours.
Well, that's what they did with Dungeons and Dragons. They did an IP crossover.
Yeah.
I mean, if they did that with
But the
other games,
pieces are the, what's a Dungeons and Dragons piece? It's whatever you make, right?
interestingly enough, I feel like in this it's using pre-existing characters in the universe or just predefined characters. It doesn't look like you're going to be making your own character, unfortunately, which is upsetting to me. I hear
Or
Dungeons and
rolling
Dragons
for your character.
doesn't sound like that. No, it sounds like you're using a predefined character, which to me is a little bit of a bummer. I hear Dungeons and Dragons. That's like a part.
Well, the big thing I had originally wanted was like, is there going to be a dungeon master? And this is back in conception when it was like not even a photo. But we quickly learned that no, definitely not. So I think this is more of going to be like a Demeo spin on Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah,
more
it's-
than just a.
It's Demeo gameplay in the Dungeons and Dragons universe.
You know whose feedback's going to hit the hardest? Mateo's.
Oh, because he's such a Dungeons and Dragons fanatic.
Yeah, he's a real. He's got the table and everything. Dude's got the ultimate man cave, by the way. No, he plays Dungeons. He knows the game. So this is going to be. I want to see how like a traditional player of the game who still enjoys it to this day will carry over to this. I predict he's going to like it, but I'm really looking forward to his feedback on it.
It's good that they announced the no Dungeon Master
Yeah,
early.
yeah.
Pull that sting out.
Get it out of your system. Stop
Let a
saying
year
it.
go by, people
Yeah.
to digest it. There's no Dungeon Master. Again, doesn't look like any created characters. I hope I'm incorrect there. But yeah, no, I'm excited for this, and hopefully,
You know it's going to be smooth.
yeah, the
They've already
screenshots.
got their shit down.
The screenshots they included, there's no way that's the actual gameplay visuals. It's got to be some like in-engine shots. If that looks like that in headset,
What's the card say? Zoom up to the cards.
there's a healing potion which we did see.
Alchemist Fire.
Alchemist Fire is new, as is the
Bardic
Barbaric. So it
Inspiration.
is new cards. I don't know. A healing
Well, of
potion.
course, that's
obviously.
standard.
Yeah, you got to have a healing potion.
Can't not. Dude.
Correct. There's probably going to be a magic restore potion or something like that. You know, like that's pretty.
Wonder if they're
standard.
using the same intro voice actor.
Oh, good question.
We know they're using the other guy.
Well, you made a good point. Later this year, 2025, there's only 6 months left. I mean, we're going to start to hear news about this pretty quickly, I think.
I predict, if I were to guess,
October, November, September.
September.
Yeah,
Would be a September release.
Somewhere September to November.
If no delays.
9, 10, 11. One of those 3 months.
Interesting.
I'm excited, though.
11 will be a little late out there, dude.
Dude, we're getting some big end-of-the-year launches. Look at the stuff coming.
It's coming quick.
Yeah.
So far, though, one to beat. Ghost Town.
Yeah.
They got this shit under wrap, folks.
Good stuff.
For real. Multiple categories.
Well, puzzle game of the year, game of the year. Yeah, absolutely. Story of the year.
You could put it in. You could give it a nominee. I don't know if it would win story game of the year.
Mm-hmm. I'm saying you nominate, you know,
but definitely nominate. Oh, it gets a nod in 3 categories, dude.
Easy.
Throw soundtrack in there too.
Oh yeah, it was really good.
Because that had, to me, that like Hollywood feel soundtrack.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so everything that's going to come out of my mouth, I don't care if it's in print or not. I'm going to use the word allegedly because
speculated
until shit's really out there, I don't care. And you're going to hear words like shipping. That doesn't mean anything.
They could change.
This could change tomorrow because we've all been privy to how Meta's development cycle goes with headsets, and they'll have dozens of headsets. Mm-hmm. Headsets that just do one thing, and then they'll give it a cool pet name, which are always sound badass, more badass than Horizon. I'll just put that out there. And then they start killing them off because they go, okay, it works. And then, down the road. So I say all this is just like a giant, take it with a grain of salt. But we also, if anything else, get a look into what are some shit Meta's actually doing that they could do. And then we can speculate as to why they would be doing it, which you pretty much nailed in an off-air conversation, Apple.
Put the nail in the coffin of
just
that one.
an Apple flex, and another flex too, because you were right about something you had thought about it. So allegedly, Meta's shifting its priorities to start shipping an ultralight Horizon operating system that's going to have a tethered puck that's also the battery and the operating system. So this is a super duper. When they say ultralight, they're not kidding. That actually puts it in a competing category for numerous headsets. As many virtual desktops as you freaking want to open on this thing, you'll be able to open it. No controllers, pinch and move type situation going on. It's more of a multimedia.
That's the vibe I got of it.
And you nailed it. If you didn't read that article and that's what you had said, you pretty much nailed it. So this will be their answer to like, because if
people say the Vision Pro's better at watching movies, is basically it.
And this would
this is them just literally flexing that one feature out.
Watch what we can do. And from the way it sounds, super lightweight, nothing like a VR headset, like more spherical, I guess.
I think the information, that's the publication. The information, capital, like I'm not saying the information on this, I'm saying the news article, the news publication, the information, put out a report that it's going to be like kind of almost glasses like.
Yeah. Pretty much like
it's like a step towards Orion.
Fat pair of glasses. Yeah, I'll start buttering up your face for wearing goofy shit. This is the codenamed Puffin project.
Puffin.
Best name ever for.
I like that one a lot.
The two other candidates that they thought would be Quest 4 would be Pismo Low and Pismo High, but they've been scrubbed. So they must have just been more of a proof of concept for some technology. So, I mean, who knows if they're really going to come through with it for, consumer. Allegedly launched by the end of 2026. Just bizarre. But if people are going to start using thin devices for watching movies and shit. And this is literally, they're taking all the heavy hardware out of the thing and then you're putting it in your pocket.
That's what you need to get it. It makes sense. It's made to be sitting down on a couch with
airline travel, bus, train, whatever, especially if it's going to have the mixed reality or just a pass-through mode at least. Fucking game changer.
You want to play Thrill the Fight, you get a Quest.
Yeah, it's going to run on the exact same current operating system that exists today. But obviously they'll tweak the bejesus out of it. When they say like, I guess I'm not a big fan of puck shit. If it's not a gaming thing and it's more of a like multimedia,
I get it.
I'm not. Well, dude, I plug my phone into the plane and train or whatever we're on all the time. I have no problem with a cord and watching shit.
When you're sitting down, and
now I can put it on and do it. But when they're like, just pop the puck in your pocket, and you're gonna tell me that your operating system and your battery are in this puck, and this thing's not gonna give off heat.
I don't want that in my pocket.
Fuck no, man. I mean, anything after October in New England, probably great. Stuck it in your shirt. No, put it in your shirt pocket and zip up your coat, heat up your whole chest. You'll be warm and snuggy. But like, how are they going to deal with the heat dispersion on that thing?
Yeah.
Because I need fans in my headset because that's where all the shit's happening. You want me to put this in my pocket?
It's a good question. I don't know.
And do not put it into stored luggage. You will not be able to do that.
Oh, because it's a lithium.
They're actually, airlines are taking that shit real serious now too, like making you previously carry on. And now certain airlines are making you take it out of your carry-on and put it on your person. Like, fuck you. You're not putting that potential battery thing. If it's going to blow up, it's going to be in your pocket, okay? Or throw it away. They're probably really
they never let you do it or you're not supposed to do it in checked bags, in the checked luggage.
No.
They always said.
No, because if it starts smoking.
Laptop starts going hot, you know?
I think it's more vape pens than laptops.
But... I mean, my news piece kind of follows
after. Yeah,
it's attached to this, so this is an exciting one.
They're married.
Yeah, it's also reported that it's going to cost less than $1,000. That's huge.
You know what's funny is I almost said that, but I knew what you were coming with, and I'm like, man, I fuck up your whole thing.
It's all right. There's other stuff to talk with it. I mean, even with the news of this, part of the news of it was that, like, apparently, and like you said at the start, we know how internal timelines are in projected headsets. There was some talk that this swapped with the Quest 4, and the Quest 4 was slated to come out next year, and this would have come out the following year. Puffin would have come out the following year, but now it's Puffin next year and the Quest the following. The Quest 4, but I'm okay with that. I feel like the Quest 3 we're still pretty early in the lifespan. I don't think we need a Quest 4 next year. I think it makes sense to do a Puffin.
We need one 27. Like early 27.
Yeah, that timeline makes more sense to me. I think that there's a lot of juice still to squeeze out of a Quest 3.
I think this just, I mean, dude, big screen beyond.
Yeah. And so they signed maybe like a month ago or 2 months ago, they signed James Cameron to a multi-year, multi-movie
hasn't
contract
done shit yet, but yeah.
And he talked, well, just much like games, you know how those efforts take. He talked about trying a headset that I think, based off of what he said, he tried Puffin. And if he had some very complimentary things to say about like future technology coming from Meta with visual experiences, basically saying like,
dude, that dude tried Orion. They
he
didn't
definitely
weight him down with Puffin.
No, but
dude,
I have a feeling he tried Puffin as well too. He described it as, because Puffin might be better for watching movies than Orion. You know.
Well, yeah,
we don't know.
I don't think Orion's being made for us to watch TV.
He described it as like it allowed him, like his vision to like actually construct a movie the way he's always envisioned it.
Well, I mean,
like now he can give that experience to the consumer.
I'll help the guy out. He can listen to any of our interviews from former animators or people in Hollywood.
You're talking about wanting the show in the room,
and they all say the same shit, that you have such more freedom in the VR space as a creator for the arts.
Even he agreed.
Than you ever fucking would in any Hollywood in time frame that dude, I mean, Lucas Martel did like real animation shit. Yeah. That shit took fucking time versus VR where you could go on a weekend, have a proof of concept. totally different amount of like. That's not even funny.
Yeah, I don't
so you
mind.
turn these like crazy real directors onto this shit. Yeah.
If they're dropping Puffin next year and the Quest 4 in 2027, I'm okay with that timeline. I think that this is an interesting divergence. I think it's probably going to sell about as good as the Quest Pro did. I don't think it's going to be a high performer with units. But when they say less than 1,000, I mean, now there's a little bit more potential. The Quest Pro launched at 1,400, eventually dropped to 999.
If it answered phone calls, they'd probably have a much easier sell.
Yeah, I mean, and hey, look, if it's actually the size of like thick sunglasses or thick glasses,
I think this is just
it's a step towards Orion.
this is just a billionaire fuck you to Apple.
Yeah, 100. It's the nail in
This
the
has
coffin.
nothing to even do with making money.
Yeah, they literally took the one feature that
is a
people
huge
say
flex.
Vision Pro does better
Go.
and dropped a whole headset dedicated to doing that better.
We'll make you this thing. It'll look nicer, do
For a
cooler
third of the
shit,
price.
and you know what? It'll just fucking. It'll be $900.
Yeah.
You know, like not even. It's just a flex.
Yeah, good
That's
stuff,
how I
though.
feel about it personally. Like I think it's more of a. But if it comes to life and it really happens, just for the entertainment value, I'm for it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel comfortable putting on my Quest on an airplane. Just looks weird.
You would wear that like something that's glasses for him though.
Something that's more like entertainment based, where the media advertisements. It's like Ray-Bans. They're fucking glasses, dude. Nothing special going on. People be like, "Oh shit, those are those movie glasses," which people would call them. Like, dude ain't doing Excel spreadsheets.
And then on top of this too, besides James Cameron, there's also a report from the Wall Street Journal that Meta is quote unquote courting. Yeah, they're sending little love letters, trying to get them to slide into the DMs of Disney and A24 to try to get them to produce exclusive, standalone, immersive video content of their well-known IPs. So, like,
Frickin'
Meta,
sweet.
you called it off air. Like, wouldn't be surprised if Meta made a film studio one day.
Well, we'll see what kind of reception they get from.
That could be what they're doing. Like, test it out with contracted stuff first.
So, in all honesty, and it's like my only concern with this is a lot of times those shorts that sometimes Disney does them, like they all these little like offbeat from their main titles, and they do these offbeat little shows and cartoons. They're not immensely popular. So my fear is they start investing. Like, we want to get Disney, which is great.
Is that going to sell a headset?
But to what capacity are we going to watch some Disney shows? Are we going to? Is it all going to be cartoons?
It's going to be a 3-minute little short.
I think the key to Meta is to be able to get something that will have people put the headset on to watch every week, like a sitcom, a funny show. Like, dude, so many Netflix shows that if like it
That's
was
smart.
only on,
Do the
it's an
old school.
exclusive-
Don't drop it. Whole season style. Do the weekly drop.
but make it made for frickin' VR and give people like a true professional production of what real VR television or a show could look like in VR. Yeah, I get sides, sporting events. We get it. But make something from the ground up for VR, but make it a legit show and invest in. They're obviously, you got Disney. They have a long list of people under contract. They can say, you're doing this. It's
a lot of IPs too.
Yeah.
They could do a 5-minute Frozen clip.
Dude, they could do anything.
Disney owns the
And
world.
Disney being Disney, they would probably invest heavy into doing like a 15-minute promo for shit that's coming out a year from then. You know what I'm saying?
a little thing with Watch the Rest on Disney Plus,
But man, if someone can come out with a true show made from the ground up for VR,
I've heard you say it for almost 4 years now. Since Madrid Noir, you've been like, you've
it's
seen
there.
the potential.
It's
like
there.
the tech maybe hasn't been.
Someone's just got to do it.
If this is what it says that it's going to be,
Yeah,
there's
it has potential. Yeah, it
serious
does.
multimedia
It does.
potential.
It just want to know which way they're going to go with.
And you're correct with traveling on planes and stuff. Like, yeah, that's a lot easier to fit. You could probably fit the
Pair
whole
of
setup in your
goggles.
pocket.
Hey, a little travel pouch. a little
Yeah,
hand
correct.
fanny packs. It's gonna bring back
Oh,
the
man.
fanny pack, bro.
You got a meta pack.
Got my my Horizon pack.
Stop.
My Horizon sack. like a Sacker Horizon, just dangling. That's freaking awesome, though. I could see it. Little goggles, no big deal. All right, man. They said it wasn't going to happen. Fucking years we've been waiting for GTA. But guess what? Next week, it's coming out early. Dude, you're laughing. I'm not lying. It's coming out next week, early access. GTA coming to a Quest headset near you. That's going to be Grand Theft Animals, folks. Grand Theft Animals, not GTA like
Grand Theft Auto.
Grand Theft Auto. But I mean, let's be honest. They are loosely based off of Grand Theft Auto to the point where attorneys are probably going to get involved.
That's your speculation,
if
right?
they haven't already, and it's just like good sense of humor over there at Rockstar, and it doesn't hurt them at all because they're not, But even Grand Theft Animals abbreviates to GTA. So call it for what it's worth. So you're going to play an ape-like character, and guess what that means? That means ape-like movement. Yay.
Gorilla Tag beats Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah. So you're going to have jobs to do. You're going to have deliveries to make. But, Dope City.
That's the name of it?
Dope City, dude. You're going to have different character costumes you can get. You can be like a gangster, whatever. But you're going to have to do deliveries, time deliveries, of course. You will commit crimes. You will rob citizens. And it's funny because in the trailer, you'll see it says citizen above the dude's head as you're mollywomping him to death with a fucking banana. They do have cops that will show up. They will tase you.
Yo, he just bought weed.
Dude, don't worry about it.
They said happy herb.
Don't worry about it. It's a gorilla. It's not a person. Gorillas eat natural stuff all the time. It's not weed. It's natural gorilla food.
It was herb.
Gorilla-like creature.
Look, happy herb for $10. Herb dealer.
Wow, it's funny that they're using the black market when in most states it's like store driven, but
Yeah,
not in Grand Theft Animals. Still a black market running society.
Holy moly, a crime sandbox, dude. I'm in tears.
No, it looks freaking funny.
An adult Gorilla Tag?
Yeah, man. If it's easy Gorilla Tag movement, it's probably going to be, easier for this guy.
Is it single player?
I believe it's single player.
Okay.
I believe I didn't see anywhere where I saw co-op at all.
Okay.
And it's
thankfully
early access.
Dude, this looks pretty fun.
Mm-hmm. Oh no, dude, it has potential. And they obviously are having a good sense of humor and a good time with it, spoofing on a game that everyone knows. And I think it's genius.
Mm-hmm.
My only concern would be like the folks at Rockstar be like, I'm sure they didn't cross any line, but even the graphics, dude, it's the same exact.
No, the only questionable part is the fact that, like you said, it abbreviates to GTA.
But would it surprise me at all if they were like, no, man, we got approval before we even made the game and they fucking loved it? I would not be surprised by that at all.
It also could be that, like, look, it doesn't matter that it abbreviates to GTA. There's no problem there.
No, I mean, dude, I think they're on a line. I don't think they've crossed any, but
it's got a funny aesthetic, though.
Somebody probably spent over $1,000 for an attorney to be like, there didn't.
When's it coming?
Next week.
Dude, let's go.
This week. This week we're in right now. I don't have an exact date. June 12th. I do.
June 12th.
Yep. 3 days.
Okay. I'm curious costs and stuff like that, but let's go.
You know what's weird though?
I didn't see the store page linked. No. I'll have to find it manually.
That's
if it even exists yet.
That's usually pretty odd. That's not linked.
Well, if it's coming this early, I do not see the store page anywhere.
Interesting. So maybe by Wednesday, or maybe they're just coming out hard. Maybe it's not real.
Mm-hmm. No, it's made by the developers, Squiddo Studios. Yeah, developers of DigiGods. Oh, all right. I'm excited to play this. If it actually comes on the 12th in early access, because right now I don't see the store page, I am excited.
Yeah, dude, it looks like it's gonna be funny.
Looks silly. So this one coming from End Dreams. This looks like one of the most polished games from End Dreams. Not that they never do unpolished games.
Yeah, are they known for their shoddiness?
No, they're known for great games, but this just looks next level. They announced Reach. It is their next upcoming game. It is a quote-unquote cinematic action adventure game. Upload VR calls it their most ambitious title yet, and, you know, I can't disagree.
No, I would agree with that statement.
It's coming to the Quest 3 and 3S, Steam, and PlayStation VR later this year. So adding to that list of games coming later this year. Dude, I'm excited for it. This looks really fun. Looks like some parkour puzzle type stuff.
I'm biased. I'm excited for anything that Endream says they're working on.
The graphics look stunning.
Yeah, no, the graphics look a little too good.
Gameplay looks really tight. I'm excited for this one. The later half of 2025 is getting so jam-packed. I wasn't sure. I was being a little cautious, unsure if I could actually say this, but I guess it is a little silly to not. We actually did get to try this at Gamescom last year. And
100%.
it is freaking, it was tight.
Man, I think like after a year, if we're not allowed to say it, then what was the point of having us try it?
That's a good point.
At that point.
Yeah.
Now that there's a trailer in the wild.
Yeah. We previously went hands-on with it.
And we really liked it.
I mean, it was one of the best titles of that whole thing.
At first, I struck and was like, dude, I can't remember playing this at all. And you seemed pretty adamant. And then I remembered being in it and being coached. Because it was something I couldn't do. I couldn't jump to a certain area or something.
Game looks tight, though.
But yeah, dude. No, the graphics are sick.
There's going to be more info of it coming.
Dude, the gameplay was good a year ago.
Yeah.
Come on. A year ago. I thought that shit was coming out like...
I've been thinking of it weekly since then.
Gamescom.
I'm like, this is going to
I had forgotten about it.
Yeah, this is going to be a contender for Game of the Year if it's anything like what I experienced. Like, holy shit, we have some big, good games coming at the end of this year.
No, it's no joke, dude.
Yeah.
It's only going to get better, too.
Let's
go. More in the mix is home run for consumers.
Oh, yeah.
As well as the developers, because people will buy it.
I mean, like, I'll be a broken record that the hard part is how much of these amazing titles are buried by absolute pointless fluff on the store that really shouldn't be prominently displayed at all, but different conversation.
Dude, there's not a person, I haven't heard one person say the state of the ecosystem is good.
The store is the worst I've ever seen it.
Yeah.
You know,
it's almost like somebody said, hey, what's the worst thing we could do today? And someone went, get rid of App Lab.
It's sad that
and then they go, hey, we got rid of App Lab. What's the worst thing we could do?
Our worst case scenario that we laid out. Our worst case scenario, all of our fears that we had laid out when the news of it first being removed came out, like everything came true.
We felt it. Listen, the beauty of what we've been able to do over 4 years now, in all honesty, was like we had the games we played, we had the people we talked to, right? It was really those only two things. And we talked to people who have existing games on the store. We talked to people who got through on the store admittingly because of the time period they were in. There was like, there was no fucking App Lab. It didn't matter, you know? Had a pulse, they put it on the store. And we talked to the other 50% of developers who were all App Lab developers. And we always get to hear the firsthand struggles of what it takes to have the game on the store and keep it going and keep it interesting. And then that other side, what's it like to have a game on App Lab where you don't have as much of the say corporate the support. You have the platform, but you
don't get the visibility on the store.
Nope, you get to learn a lot of that marketing aspect, but it's okay because you're not on the store. You don't have that gun to your head, like holy shit, that pressure. You can actually still sell your game on App Lab. And if you're marketing it well, I mean, look, a handful of games crushed it on App Lab to the point where moving to the store was like, it's just a move. But now that that's gone, it's a completely different struggle. You have
everyone.
You have those people that are still learning to market and they're fresh indie devs, and they're in the fucking wild with like pro players.
And you also have 8-year-olds putting out Gorilla Tag clones,
crushing it.
Not a lot of them. I mean, some of them do crush it.
No.
But those are usually like animal companies, not 8-year-olds. They have members of freaking
animal companies.
Past workers of Shell Games there. Yeah, that's like a professional studio. There is no doubt a flood of Gorilla Tag low effort clones.
I just feel bad for the newest people who are no doubt mentally prepared, physically they're in it, they're doing their job, what they know how to do. and that marketing is gonna fucking that marketing is going to ruin them, and it really is. And it's like, dude, that was years ago that marketing became like as important as the game you make. We've even said that, like, you can market garbage and it'll sell because it was marketed well. And now, you know,
It's hard.
it kills me because now I'm seeing that struggle times two.
We had a perfect store. That wasn't perfect. Nothing's perfect.
It wasn't perfect, but
There were
it
ways-
worked.
What needed to happen instead of getting rid of App Lab was increasing its visibility, having different ways to display it.
All they really needed at
Have
the
the
end of
App
the day
Lab button.
was more forgiving searchability of like,
Yes.
don't make it like if I didn't put the hyphen, it's not going to show up.
You know, get rid of the virus-looking pop-up.
Yeah.
Give
Are
it
you
give an App
you
Lab
want it?
pop-up.
It's not been tested.
They should have given an App Lab button that you could have pressed in the store, then you switch to it, which
Chris
they did do
Pruitt-
towards the end.
But Chris Pruitt also explained at the time why they couldn't do that. And
Okay,
at the time, it made sense.
but now it's contradictory to
Chris Pruitt's moved on to other things. He's not dealing with that.
Chris Pruitt's in the same role. He's still,
I know.
His vision was
He's
correct,
not the
though.
button guy.
They had said, like, because they didn't want the official meta seal of approval on all those titles, but now it is. Now it is on everything. Some 8-year-old puts out low effort Gorilla Tag clone. That's on the official MetaQuest store. Oh, how the great have fallen.
I don't like talking to people in the industry and feeling pain that doesn't need to be felt. Like that could easily be taken out. You already got enough.
We felt it during Connect last year. We heard it a lot. Everyone was throwing fits. So
if I had a satchel of cash, I could have bought into a handful of games, like legit, because people were desperate. Like there was one I know you know who I'm talking about, threw himself at us repeatedly, all but followed us into the men's room. Just continually, help me find a publisher. Help me find
that was
a
at
publisher.
Gamescom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And looked him right in his eyes and was like, thank God Germany has like really private restrooms too. Was like, look it, if it were me, these would be the top 3 I would go after. And if I couldn't get a fucking meeting with any of those 3, then I'd start asking people like me. But the fact that you haven't talked to them yet scares me, man. Go fucking talk to them. That's why we're here, right? And I think by like the second night, he was excited because he was having a conversation with one of them. I don't see the project nowhere. But yeah, I mean, just the hunger for some of these people for the help. They know what they're doing. They made a game. They just don't know how to. And
It's different.
Yeah.
Different struggle. Like you said, making
Shit's
the game
real,
is
dude.
one part, and then properly marketing it, whole nother. And like, for better or worse, it's the reality. It's ever so important right now.
Doesn't seem to be going away.
So we left off on Reach, actually. Yeah, so Reach from End Dreams coming later this year. Going to be a great end of the year, for sure.
Has all the makings for, I agree. It should be hopefully a contender. I just know what we played was good. So knowing this is going to be better. I think it looks visually better than what we played. So an oldie, there's a lot of old games coming back. You said, what was that one? 98. That one takes the record. This one I'm going to talk about came out in 2018. Hidden Memories of the Gardens Between. So flat screen puzzle game being revamped up for Quest and PC VR. And you're like, oh, but I already played it on flat screen. The fun's going to be gone. Don't worry. They got you. They got 40 new puzzles that are promising immersive interactions, which as VR users, we definitely like to hear. And some of the activities are going to be some such as painting or physically building objects in the world. So I never played the flat screen version. It's allegedly a tribute to friendships from our childhood. There's going to be some heavy story base to this, I imagine. It has that kind of vibe and feel. And even when I look at I see that on a store page, I'm like, yeah, I already kind of know what I'm going for here. So I'm excited to give this a shot. We're looking at a playable demo. Will come out on Steam during Steam Next Fest from June 9th to the 16th, and then Quest and PC VR sometime in 2025.
Cool stuff.
Yeah, but it's got puzzles, right?
Mm-hmm. Steam
It's
Next
got
Fest
story.
is always a good time to try out new games. So just another one to get on the list.
2018.
Yeah.
1998, dude. That one holds the record.
So cool stuff. And then in a heavy year of showcases, I guess this week we're getting a new VR developer direct, going deep into some VR games and VR studios, including from Flat to VR Studios. There's going to be a little feature there, and it was also teased with Reach that Reach is going to be involved in that VR developer direct as well too. So stay tuned for that, airing June 10th. So at the time of this episode dropping, that's tomorrow, Tuesday, at 9 a.m. PT. So what's that, 12 p.m. Eastern time? Good stuff. I like little developer deep dives. I'm curious if this is going to be more of a showcase, gaming style showcase. It's going to be more of, they call it developer direct. So I'm curious what that's going to be.
It's pretty open-ended.
It's from our friends over at the VR Game Showcase with Jamie and Xena.
Good peeps.
I anticipate high production value. Good show. So they say it's going to be a mix of in-person and online interviews. Interesting.
All done in one shot.
Or
multiple sessions.
It looks like it's going to be one video. I'm curious how this is going to play. They say an expected runtime hasn't been confirmed.
Interesting.
Jamie showcases are usually like 45 minutes, an hour. I'm guessing probably around that same time would be it's a good like attention span time, Let's see.
Yeah. I'm excited for it.
It says it's going to be on YouTube and TikTok Live. Wow,
Okay.
Jamie utilizing the old TikTok, the old Talkland.
Smart though. Underutilized in some capacity.
Yeah, I wonder if it's going to be any news of any games that we haven't heard, or if it's going to be all stuff of existing games. I'm excited.
You know what I'm excited for?
Mm-hmm.
My next piece, sir. The game is called UnLoop. It will come out on Quest and Pico sometime this fall. PC VR support will come out at a later time. Developed by CM Games, the folks that crushed it with Into the Radius 2. So it's going to use We Are One style looping movement. You have to do something. Obviously, you'd say point A, point B. To get there, this is going to involve lasers and a whole bunch of dangerous activities. Dude, we've been talking since We Are One that more games need to utilize like a loop system, and we're going to get it. So visually, looks really freaking good. How to play it, don't know yet till I get it in my hands. Other than knowing you're going to have to do specific movements and then lock those movements in and then do another movement to help that. I'm just excited. It's been a while since I played, this type of game. And I just remember the freaking awesome time I had with We Are One. So
I like these time loop games.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of potential with it.
In VR, it's freaking incredible.
We know CM Games, very polished studio. So I'm excited.
Dude, Into the Radius too. Not bad. So
stay tuned.
Sometime in the fall. Barring delays or anything else, but
I'm
nothing
telling you,
in stone.
Second half of 2025. Dude, these are some good-looking titles all
Yeah,
coming.
end of the year is going to end out nice.
Yeah.
And what don't we know about? There's so many of these games, dude. These are all shadow
A month ago, we didn't
releases
know
to me.
about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Counter-Strike, Deadpool,
yeah.
Reach, Thief VR. We didn't know about any of these titles just a couple weeks ago. So who knows what else is being announced. But 2025 is shaping up to be a hard award show. So this next one, a little unfortunate. It's a little speculative, but 50-50. So what I mean is Survios came out, the developers of Alien Rogue Incursion, and they said that they're going to be pausing working on the VR edition to focus on the flat screen port of it. However, it'd be different if this was a full release game. Alien Rogue Incursion dropped as a part 1 with a part 2 later to come. It is now unclear if this pausing extends to the VR version as well too.
Well, they're not answering that question, correct?
That's kind of how it seems.
Yeah.
So, I mean, is this game only going to exist in part 1 in VR? And then if you want to play part 2, you got to go play the flat screen version. Upload VR is reporting that users are requesting refunds, and Meta support has even granted refund for some users
based on the argument that they might not do a part 2,
and that they're pausing the support on it. Yeah. So who knows what that means? If
support
that was
as in functionality support, or support as in future content?
Future content to it.
Okay.
And, sounds like
if they're giving refunds on it, then...
But was that a support agent just trying to close the case? Or
Yeah,
was that because they have like, hey, if people request refund on this game, just give them Quest Cash and call it a day because there ain't more coming?
It's the second? It's the latter, yeah.
It's unfortunate.
Because they would know.
So that's why I say it's a little speculative. For sure, they announced that they're stopping work on the VR edition.
That's
whether this extends to part 2 remains to be seen. I do hope they follow through.
Yeah, it's a killed project.
Well, then I wonder too, did they get platform funding? Like, do you think Meta gave them funding for part 1? And then they saw, because it wasn't originally going to be a part 1.
I don't think it did as good as it should have.
That's most likely, yeah. I mean, keep in mind, it wasn't part 1 until 1 week before launch.
So it's like...
It was the full game until 1 week before launch. Then they suddenly came out and said, actually, this is just part 1.
It's like, we had to get it out.
So something went wrong somewhere.
It's done. That baby's toast, bro.
That's unfortunate.
I mean, and it did. It didn't come out to the best reception, right?
No, there were some performance issues.
They have a store page link.
An
article. I'm curious what I haven't looked in a long time, dude.
How it's doing? Let me go to their store.
Like how it's actually, what their current rating of existing players says about it. Yeah, that's
4.0 with 500 ratings.
Yeah, I mean,
you would expect
a little strange.
More than 500 for such a big title. I mean, that's great for like.
I mean, if it's not making them money, why would you set up for another? Like, I'm gonna go do that again.
Yeah, their last patch was 2 months ago.
All right.
Let's see. Very unfortunate.
Unfortunate it is. I'm not really sure if I'm saying the name of this.
I'm never sure if I'm saying game names right.
And it's such an easy looking word, but Lumines Arise.
Could find out UnLoop is UnLoop, We're just fucking stupid.
So this will actually be the next game from the team over at Tetris Effect. Yeah.
It's going to be killer soundtrack.
Coming to PlayStation VR2 and Steam this fall.
Okay.
Lumines
Quest
Arise.
yet?
I don't see Quest in there. Created by Enhance Inc. It's the sequel to 2004. See, again, going back, man. Going back decade. 2004 puzzle game by Tetsuya Mitsuguchi.
For people that usually can't pronounce names, I think you might have nailed that.
I hope I respectfully did. I do not need a phone call from Mr. Tatsuya Mitsuguchi. You rotate 2x2 blocks to align with each other, which then erase over time. Simple enough. This is one of those easy concept, hard to master.
Sometimes when the concept is that simple, like it's going to get really intense.
A demo will be out later this summer, but nothing about Quest.
Okay.
And that might just simply be...
Looks like it's heading to flat screen PlayStation as well.
Yeah, man.
Interesting stuff.
Why isn't it coming to Quest, though?
I think Tetris Effect came at a later date as well, too.
Tetris Effect is beautiful.
Visually amazing. Soundtrack's amazing.
That was the first game I ever saw where I'm like, oh, shit, that guy's on a PlayStation.
That guy's on an Xbox, yeah.
That was amazing.
I'm going into this with the expectation of a killer soundtrack. Isn't that messed up?
No.
Like, they did so good with Tetris Effect. If this just had some generic stock music.
What would happen if I Expect You to Die came out with bad acting, bad puzzles?
Yeah. No special intro music.
Dude, they hold the award for the best opening credits to a game ever.
No doubt. And which one is the best of the three? Is it even that could be an episode of itself?
Mm-hmm.
So my last piece of news, then we'll go into the upcoming games through the rest of June, which now we know the rest of 2025 is Stacked City. So the Quest's web browser, which has come a long way since back in the day on the Quest 2, I remember there was actually a few WebXR experiences we played on the browser of the Quest 2, like Brushworks. Remember Brushworks? The skiing, and then remember the painting? Brushworks?
Yeah. Brushworks is cool.
Yeah, we started dabbling a little bit into WebXR, and then, it's just the gaming side was just so strong. WebXR is leveling up a lot recently. It's making a resurgence back to high performance, including the web browser now experimentally supporting co-located WebXR, meaning two people in a shared space could use the same WebXR session. That could be watching a film just on the browser together. That's really cool. So imagine you go traveling, we're in a hotel together, could throw on that bad boy, open up YouTube, to start browsing the web together in the same space. Whether or not that's going to be a heavily used feature is a different conversation, but it exists. They're making these advances,
I wonder if we can pick up streams.
Dude, like the potential is, let's see. I saw somebody on X post something that they're releasing soon on WebXR that involves real-time face. Like you scan your face for an avatar, much like the Vision Pro avatars. It basically looked like the Apple Vision Pro avatars, just running on WebXR. So I'm like,
I wish you could scan your face and Walkabout Mini Golf, and it would create like a Walkabout
pixelated avatar.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I think that one of the coolest things Ghost Support did was their creator tags. We didn't have a creator tag or nothing, but I think it was a cool concept.
Who?
Ghost of Tabor.
Oh, yeah.
Like I said, we didn't have a creator tag, but I think the concept was really cool. And I wish more games would do that. Imagine a Walkabout Mini Golf creator pack.
That'd be wicked cool.
Get like gamer tag, Mateo. Hopefully your boys in there too,
Get the custom ball.
Yeah, something like that. I think there's a lot of potential for that. I think that was a really smart move from Ghost of Tabor when they did that.
Grey Wolves were in Ghost of Tabor, I think. Don't they have a charm?
Yeah, they have their creator tag.
And they have a glitch energy flavor, I think.
Yep. The Grey Wolf's crushing it.
Grey Wolves are awesome.
So,
Good for them.
Cool stuff. That was my last piece as well, too. Loaded news. Stack City episode. Stack City week of games coming, or rest of the year of games coming, and into that. So I'll do the first half, and then you can take it from there if that sounds good. I'll start with Exergale, which was on the 2025 Ruff Talk VR Gaming Showcase. Had a great trailer.
Great showcase.
They're coming out today of the episode dropping on the MetaQuest, so go check out Exergale. We also have Zombie Army VR coming June 12th to PC VR and PS VR2 and MetaQuest. Wow, hitting the trifecta of games. We also have Five Nights at Freddy's Secret of the Mimic coming June 13th to PS VR2. Upload VR did include a little disclaimer note that there was previous reports of VR, but the official support actually does remain unclear. So it's possible that one doesn't even come to the PSVR 2. Then we also got Overdark, a do not open story, coming June 13th to the MetaQuest. Badminton Time, VR.
I'm excited for that one.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
I love badminton, dude.
Coming June 17th to PSVR 2. Fortunately, we can't play it. There's more incentive on that PSVR 2. Man, if anyone knows anyone at Sony, hit your boys up. Presentiment of Time coming June 19th to PSVR 2.
We got the Smurfs Flower Defense coming June 19th, Quest 3. I'm excited for it. Tower Defense, Smurfs, what's not to love? Maestro on Dune. Maestro coming June 20th, PSVR 2. You folks are going to enjoy it. I expect to see that in the top 10 within freaking 2 weeks. Elemental Towers, June 23rd, PCVR. Cave Crave, June 26th, PSVR 2 and Quest. Lions Peace Fighter coming June 2025, PCVR. June is running out. We're already like almost 10 days in. Neolithic Dawn coming June 2025 on Quest. Umbrella Up coming June 2025 Quest. And Warriors coming June 2025 PCVR, which I think I'm going to scoop up. I think. That's it.
Good
it's
stuff.
The end of June, bro.
But rest of the year coming in strong. This was a loaded episode.
I'm scared for what's coming now. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, no, dude. It's about when these all come, because they all say later this year. Hopefully they're not all within a 2-week span. Hopefully they all get their rightful breathing time. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for listening as always. If you haven't yet, be sure to subscribe, rate us 5 stars.
Sorry for the F-bombies.
Maybe check out the Patreon. Maybe check out the Discord. Go talk some VR. And stay tuned for more podcast episodes coming at your way next week. Ciao, ciao.